Right.
And welcome inside Delaware Live Sports Spring Week number 2. We are back at the Christiana location, Buffalo Wild Wings, for an action-packed show on another Wednesday. Nick Alessandrini alongside Mike Lang. Mike, how you feeling this Wednesday night?
I'm waiting for it to warm up.
And hopefully it'll get there soon here next week, I believe, when we check out the weather. So get some 70s next weekend, but an action-packed show for everyone here tonight. We are joined now by your Goldie Beacom Lightning baseball program head coach Tom Riley and company. Guys, we'll go down the line, introduce yourselves, positions, anything you'd like to tell everyone at home, and we'll start on the right.
I'm Mason Maxwell. I play shortstop.
Connor Meganson, right fielder.
And Mitch Guerreri, pitcher.
And obviously head coach Tom Riley. Coach, I'll start with you here. We're here at Buffalo Wild Wings. We're here every Wednesday. Glad to have you guys on. But the first question we always start with is favorite wing flavor now that we're here at Buffalo Wild Wings. So, Coach, we'll start with you right off the bat. Favorite wing flavor here on the menu?
I go for Parmesan garlic.
Parmesan garlic. That might be the first Parmesan garlic of the year. Gotta love it.
I'm a unique guy.
Exactly right, Mitch.
Absolutely honey barbecue.
Honey barbecue, yeah, for sure.
I got to go with Asian Zing, the BOGO deal. Buy 10, get 10.
There you go.
Best deal.
No doubt.
I would go with mild. Mild is the way to go.
There we go. You have it. 4 great flavors.
Honey barbecue guy myself.
And Mike, honey barbecue for Mike, too. We haven't asked you yet, and every time we've been here.
No, I've never been asked.
But, guys, obviously coming into the year, Coach, we'll start with you again here. You got that label as the 14th best team in the country. Just talk a little bit about that, kind of what that meant to the team coming into the season and kind of the vibe that you guys rolled with coming in with that.
Yeah, I think that was nice, really, for last year's group. That was a really good team. I mean, I think that's what preseason rankings are. They're about last year's team. I don't know if it was good or bad for us for this year's guys. I mean, we're a completely different team. I really like this team. And we scheduled pretty rough early, and took our lumps. But I think it was good for us, to go down and play a pretty strong schedule, and kind of learn who we were as a group.
Yeah, guys, same question to you over there now. You come in with that ranking maybe in the back of your minds coming into the season. What was that like coming in with that kind of maybe not a target on your back necessarily, but definitely people looking out for you guys now?
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see. But at the end of the day, it's just a ranking. It doesn't really mean anything. Just to piggyback what Coach said, it was nice. It was nice for the guys last year. It was nice for the returning guys this year. But at the end of the day, we got to show what we have this year because it's a completely different team. So, but again, it was exciting to see and to see where this program has come.
Yeah, it was definitely exciting. Just showing that all the hard work that we had last year paid off in our regional run. But, at the end of the day, we just got to show up to the field and get better and get 1% better every day, and that's what we've been doing so far. So,
I definitely got to agree with everybody, but I just think it was good just to get the program on the map, not only in the East region, but in the whole country, and that was pretty cool. And everyone was going to give us our best shot, and we knew that. In that first weekend in Lenoir-Rhyne, we saw that. So, I mean, just got to keep playing, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coach, talk a little bit about the growth of the program over the last few years and how you've been able to elevate the Lightning baseball program to where you guys are now, which is a pretty good spot.
Yeah. Really, it's about the guys that are here sitting with me. We did myself, Coach Matt Trait, Coach Galati, we did a really good job of recruiting and brought in this class of guys that, they believed in us and they knew that what we could be here. And, we kind of believed that the whole time. And even when these guys, when Mitch was a sophomore and Mason and Connor were freshmen, and we took some lumps that year, but, those guys got so much better that year, and by the end of the year, nobody really wanted to play us. So, it kind of all got built back then, and just the way that these guys play for one another and just have so much fun being out there at the field with their boys.
And guys, same question to you. Honestly, how have you guys witnessed that evolution of the program these last few years? You've been obviously up close and personal with it. What can you describe it as well, being in that locker room and with the team?
Yeah, just like Coach said, I mean, we've come from so far. I was actually talking with Trevor Jump today. We were, I think it was ranked 6th from the bottom when we first started our program, and then for us to see get ranked 14th in the country last year, just a ginormous jump where we come from. It's just absolutely insane to see, and these guys have been through it all with me, and even guys last year who graduated have been through it all, and been through the hardest times and been through the greatest times. So it's really cool to see where this program has come.
Yeah, it's actually really crazy to think about because freshman year there was some really tough times, and some games that you don't necessarily want to play in, but you have to. But those teams, those guys on those teams, we toughed it out. We never complained. We did what we had to do, and it's just really exciting to see the progression the program's made, and the passion that the players have for it, and the work that we want to put in to get where we want to be. So it's exciting for sure.
Yeah, I think it all stems from like Justin Hill, Cole Collins, that group who graduated last year and came back for their 5th year, and then my class and the class above me, Mitch's class. I think everyone bought into the program and bought into how we do things here, and that's what progressed us each and every year and just got better and better.
Yeah, by the way, you mentioned Trevor Jump. I know Nick's a proud Green Knight, so I had to get the Mount Pleasant note mentioned in there.
How about that?
3 Green Knights. Nick was a Green Knight himself, played baseball there, yeah.
You're fired. Get him out of here on Wednesday night at Buffalo. And guys, just to keep rolling here, Marshall, you touched on it earlier, that trip obviously out of North Carolina to begin your year, a little bit of adversity there. What did you necessarily learn about your team, and you guys, coach, you as well, starting off the season with that tough schedule there down there?
Well, I thought that when we played Lenoir-Rhyne, the one thing that you saw was you did see a lot of character out of our team, because Lenoir-Rhyne was about as good of a team that we've played since I've been here. I was really surprised and saw that the arms that they brought in were really legitimate arms, but we were in every one of those games, and we left not the way we wanted to go down there. We were 0-4, but you get back on the bus and those guys were having a great time and just ready for next weekend. And we came back the next weekend and went 3-1 on that weekend. So, I think we have a resilient bunch and a bunch of guys that, they're focused on the day-to-day as opposed to worrying about the big picture.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, same question. You touched on it a little bit earlier, but what did you learn maybe about yourselves at the team, with that trip down there playing all that talent?
Ultimately, we just learned that we have a different team, and then we got to, not necessarily play different, but we have different guys and different roles that need to be filled and different positions that need to be filled, and especially young guys. That was their first weekend playing college baseball, so it's a whole new scene for them. So, I was thinking back to when I was a freshman, it's totally different than high school baseball and all that type of stuff. So they just had to get adjusted to it, and that takes a little bit of time. So, and especially we went down there and played a very, very good Lenoir-Rhyne team. So, and you want to play the best of the best anyway. You don't want to go play any slouches during the year. It's not going to get you better. So, playing teams like that's only going to get us better in the long run.
On the way down to Lenoir-Rhyne, I mean, it was just your typical game. I mean, we knew who we were playing. We knew what we were getting on the mound. But at the end of the day, we just weren't a good team at the time. I mean, like Mitch said, we had a lot of young talent, and we just weren't there completely as a team, and we still aren't. We still have a lot to figure out. But I think the main thing now is we're just having a lot more fun with it. The first couple weekends, you can tell there was just a lot of tenseness in the dugout, and it was the energy was fluctuating. When we were up, we were up. When we were down, we were down. And I think we fixed that now. Our dugout's constantly energetic. I mean, you guys have seen that since you've been there. So, we're just having a lot more fun.
Yeah, to harp on what Mitch said, just the young guys being in college baseball against that caliber of a team. I mean, they're 31-7 in a very tough conference. They play a very tough schedule, but I would definitely take a 3-8 record over some very good teams than be 10-0 over not very good teams. And I think playing those teams prepared us for this conference play, and you've seen what we've done already. So
you guys you mentioned conference play. You have Bloomfield on Saturday, and I don't know who wants to talk about what the CACC is like in baseball, and what the competition is like in the CACC. Who should we be looking for? And if we're going to go out and watch Goldie, who should we come out and see? Obviously, see you guys, but I don't know who wants to touch on that. And Coach, we can get you after. We'll get the guys go first.
I think definitely the series to come to is going to be us in Wilmington. I mean, it's going to be a battle of, I don't even know how far we are from Wilmington, like 10 miles? I don't even know. Yeah. But that's going to be great. They got some good players. They got some good pitchers. We got good players, good pitchers. So it'll be a nice little rivalry in state. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think the CAC, the conference is a really good conference baseball-wise. I mean, there was 3 or 4 teams last year that very well could have made the regional, and I think that's out of what, Coach, 12 total teams? So, I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, just to piggyback off what they said, really any team is a good challenge for us, and especially Wilmington, they're right down the road, kind of a UNC Duke type deal, right down the road type deal. So, but really anybody, Tobacco Road. But anybody really, we're excited to play anybody, and we're prepared to play anybody. So.
Yeah, and Coach, I mean, we've seen some good games in the CACC with you guys here in these last couple of weeks. Energy's been up, been some great opponents for you guys. Same question to you.
Yeah, I mean, Connor hit it. I mean, we have a really good baseball conference. What's cool is that so many of the teams they're a little bit different. Like, we're going to play Bloomfield on Saturday, and those guys can really swing it. They swing the bat really, really well. So that's going to be a challenge for us. But then we come back and play Jefferson on Sunday, and they're a team full of really good arms. So, you've got some teams that run, some teams that hit, some teams that pitch. So you get a little bit of something different each week. And, we're hoping that we can be the team that does all of those things.
Absolutely. And you guys already touched on this a little bit throughout the interview, but 10 of 13, 5 in a row. Obviously, for you guys, you talked about just getting used to it and getting the new guys, used to playing college baseball. Is there anything else that you realized that has maybe clicked in the last, like we said, 10 of 13, 5 in a row? Anything else in that stretch maybe that has kind of helped you guys out or proven to be a reason for some of the winning as of late?
I just think we got back to the energy we had last year. I don't want to compare teams because they're not the same teams, but just that energy, playing loose, having fun. I mean, the hitter side, we were very tense, especially like just the younger guys. They were pretty tense at the plate, and now they're realizing they can do damage with pitches outside of the zone, and they're driving balls and just having fun. Everyone's having fun. Even before games, like before we take the field, we always point at each other and say, "I'm going to have more fun than you're going to have more than you." And we just try to compete on who has the more fun or who has the most fun. So
it definitely looks like you guys are having some fun out there for sure.
Hey, Connor, I wanted to ask you, for you guys when you get out and you play these teams that are local, you've seen a lot of guys maybe you played high school baseball with or against. What's that like when you get out there and they're wearing the other uniform? I know maybe you played Little League against them or Legion Ball or something, but what's it like?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's a kid over at Wilmington, Sean Hutt. He played at Hodson when I was there. Really talented player, and I had a lot of fun playing with him when I was at Hodson. And there's a couple other Hodson alum that were at WilMU. I'm not actually sure if they still are. But yeah, it's just good seeing those guys again. I mean, when baseball season comes around, it's so hard to get out of what you're doing, and that's practicing and focus on school. So seeing those guys on the field, it's just a good feeling, seeing your buddies again.
And Coach, just for you, when you're looking at players and recruiting, what's the talent level here in Delaware, and how I know you're looking for the best players, but when you have access to the Delaware high schools, is that something you try to pay attention to and maybe stay local if you can, or you're just looking for the best? I mean, you're trying for a mix.
Well, I mean, no doubt we're just looking for the best of the best. But what's really good about us where we're located, Delaware is a great baseball state. There's so many good baseball players in Delaware. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get the best baseball players in Delaware, and then we're going to go and try to get the best ones in South Jersey, in Pennsylvania. And, we draw an hour-and-a-half little circle around Goldie, and that's really where most of our guys are. So, very talent-rich area, and, we're lucky to take advantage of it.
Absolutely. And guys, we talked a little bit about the energy already throughout the interview. We've got a video for everybody at home that's going to give a little insight to that. Here, we'll take a look up at the screen, but for everyone at home, check out a little energy from the Goldie Beacom Lightning.
That's like the 302 staff meetings.
So, guys, talk a little bit about what's going on in that video for everyone at home.
Did it work out?
Honestly, there's a lot going on there. There's
To the bottom of the fifth.
a lot of goons in that video right there, but every single one of those guys is good guys, has great energy, and just really wants to be there. Whether they're on the field or not, they're always backing their guys. And
How excited you guys get for that tar pool? Every now and then, I worked in minor league baseball for a little while, and tar pool wasn't always the most fun thing for me to do. But you guys look like you guys were having a ball out there the other day. You guys look forward to the tar pool's little rain delay action there?
Well, we definitely wanted to play the game, so I feel like our energy was just let's get this done as quick as we can, so we can get these 2 wins at the end of the day, and that's what we did. Now the tar pool we did yesterday. Sorry, the tar pool we did yesterday wasn't as fun because it wasn't raining. So, and we were it was after we played Jefferson. We were tired, and it showed because it took us a lot longer than the tar pool we did.
You guys were quick.
Yeah.
That game against Chestnut Hill for
There's
sure.
some water on that tarp today. I drove by the field, and I don't know who has to take the tarp off.
we
we're not a
definitely
Division
put it
I
on, and we
program.
definitely have to take it off.
It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so maybe not tomorrow. So Friday morning, these guys will be out there pulling the tarp.
And Mitch, out now for you. When you're down in the bullpen, when you're not starting, we got a picture for you up here on the screen. What's going on in the bullpen here? You got the rakes out, some tires going on there. Talk a little bit about that picture.
I'll tell you what, to piggyback what I said earlier, there's a lot of goons out there. You got Ty Hayden holding a PVC pipe. You got Nick Harkins holding a tire. Adam McAvoy's holding a med ball. Tommy Federici's got a roller. I think Luke Taylor's getting ready to pick up the trampoline. I mean, that right there is just guys having fun, really. I think most likely one of these 2 guys right here hit a single or double, and we were getting hyped for them while they were on the base pad. So just having a lot of fun and just staying loose.
Gotta love it, absolutely.
Bench pressing the tires.
Gotta love the energy. And guys, thanks for joining us. One last question before we let you get back, maybe get some wings and
Most
some
important
food here.
question.
Coach, you can start here, and everybody can chip in. Why should baseball players, or why should people want to come play at Goldie Beacom?
I mean, these guys, we have a lot of fun, and when we talk to them, and that's what we talk about. I mean, we don't talk about winning games. We talk about having more fun than any team in the country and playing great baseball. When we do those 2 things, we win a bunch of games because we got a bunch of talented guys. And what I liked about that video and that picture, and I think that we're a lot different than some of the other teams in college baseball because college baseball can be really chirpy. Mm-hmm. Our guys don't really talk to the other team. They're all about each other. And it's like them dancing and yelling and just getting after it. I love it. And they're not worried about their opponent. They're worried about themselves. I mean, we talked about that rain delay. If you could have been in our dugout during the rain delay. I mean,
music going
we didn't have we don't have a umpire's locker room, so the umpires were stuck in our dugout. And then, I think they saw some things that they weren't ready to see. But it was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Again, guys, over to you quickly. If you just
Yeah,
want to say, why should players be there?
I think you just come to Goldie. The energy's great. Everyone has fun. It's a nice little family feel. Another thing is we're very physical. It's not a very physical sport, baseball, but we're a very physical team. I think 7 out of our 9 starters are over 200 pounds, and they can all move. So that's another thing. You'll transform into a beast. So
There you go. Hey, there you have it right there. What else other advertisement do you need right there?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a lot of fun. Day in and day out. Baseball's a long game, and sometimes it can get boring, but each practice has been, we're learning something new, and we're doing different things, and it makes it a lot of fun to try out new things. But also credit to the coaching staff, just bringing in good players the past few years, and it's definitely been beneficial for them. So that's it's definitely positive for sure.
Let the senior close it out, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and really just to see where this program has come, man, it's just I think it's our 6th year program. Like I said, I was here the 2nd year, and you can ask some of the guys who were here the 1st year. I mean, it's a complete 180 where we are now. Just to see where the program has come from is exciting. And for kids interested in colleges, I don't know why they wouldn't want to look at a school like this, or to see where we're at right now, and just to see where we're going, just to see what the school's become. We built a new dorm and all that, a new cafe and stuff like that. It's exciting times being at Goldie Beacom College. So.
And one more thing, outside of baseball, the whole staff definitely wants you to succeed, and they push to achieve greater, like Goldie Beacom says.
There you go.
Marketing department.
That's what I say. Put that on a poster right there and send it out. But there you have it.
Hashtag ad.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. We'll be with you guys, obviously, the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Excited to see you guys continue to play. We love that energy you bring, so we're looking forward to it. Thanks again for coming on.
No problem. Thank you.
That's
thanks
your
a lot.
Goldie Beacom Lightning baseball program. We're going to take a break. When we come back, you're going to see some familiar faces that you might have seen on the football field, the baseball diamond, and even on the hardwood. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back on Delaware Live Sports Weekly.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home. The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home. The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home. The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.
Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution, we are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union. Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution, we are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union. Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution, we are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union. Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution, we are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
Welcome back inside Delaware Live Sports Weekly. Nick Alessandrini alongside Mike Lang. And those familiar faces that I alluded to before the break, they are joining us up here now at the desk. And we're going to cycle through some officials that you might have seen playing some sports here in high school in Delaware. We'll start, guys, if you can introduce yourself, what sport you're a part of, and we'll dive right into it.
My name's Randy Hensis. I am a basketball official with IBO Board 11. In addition, I'm also the assigner for the organization.
I'm Bob Collins with the Northern Delaware Football Officials Association. I'm a referee and also the president of the association.
And I'm Charlie Wilson, Vice President of IBUA, the Interstate Baseball Umpires Association, and our primary responsibility is Newcastle County and Cecil County, Maryland.
I'm Dan Gajewski. I am with IBUA as well. I am the assigner, and we're here to talk about getting more guys.
Exactly right, and you led me right into the question. Here we are, obviously, Delaware, here in the state of Delaware, looking for officials in all sports. Obviously, Randy, we'll start with you here. Just talk a little bit about that and why you guys are here tonight.
Well, we're here to get the word out that every association within the state of Delaware needs good quality people, officials, so that the kids can play the games under a controlled environment. And we believe this is a good way to reach out to people. And if anybody has any questions, at least during the course of this program, we'll be able to give you the information. You can contact us all and get what sport you'd be interested in officiating.
Absolutely. Bob, over to you now here quickly. Again, Thanks for joining us. Glad to have you all here. And just maybe if you want to talk about football specifically or anything you'd like to say as well.
No, you hit it right on the head. That's what we're after. We're after young, quality officials, people who want to do this. You're not going to do it to be a millionaire, because that's not going to happen. You have to do it for the love of the sport and to support the kids, your own kids and the kids in the other schools.
Absolutely.
And pretty much the same thing for baseball. Got to have a love for the sport. Again, you're not going to make a fortune doing this, but it's decent money. But again, it's all about getting quality officials, and we're hurting right now, and along with all sports.
And again, you led me right into it. Just talk a little bit about the shortage. Now, you said you're hurting right now. How bad is this shortage right now? We've been hearing about it for a little while. We're trying to get more and more people out there. Have you been able to do that since maybe the fall, or has it been getting worse?
Well, unfortunately, we've lost more people than we've got new people. And we've had injuries this year, and I'm sure colleagues here can also attest to that as well. If you have officials that have injuries throughout the course of the year, that takes away from the pool that we have. And it really is tough. It's really tough to do. We'll give you a good example of that. Yesterday we had 9 varsity games. They were all solo for baseball, and that's really tough. And that's something that that's a challenge for us.
Absolutely.
I just have a question. It's always baffled me, and I know there are some differences going to it. Randy, for basketball, I know for volleyball, it's the same for a lot. What's it with Tuesday, Thursday? Why is it always Tuesday, Thursdays? It seems like there's a lot of games on Tuesdays and Thursdays, not so much on Wednesdays. Have you guys discussed this with the athletic directors or with the DIAA or anything to try to maybe spread these games out? I know you don't want to be working every day, but there's ways you could address it?
At least with basketball, I've had discussions with the athletic directors about moving some of the games. This is their concept. They don't want to open the building on Sunday. So very few coaches want to play a game without a day of practice. So that eliminates Monday from them. They don't want to play back-to-back. So that means going to move the game to Thursday. Then the next thing is the busing situation within the county. This year was a challenge. And they want, in the public school system, they have to get the kids home. Or if they're there late on a Friday night, there's a bus run for them. So there's a transportation issue within the public school system. And some of them over the years, as I've been a signer, have been very cooperative moving games to Saturday. But there's that window in basketball, and I'm certain there's a window in baseball, as he can attest to, that there's a certain 3-week window that for every Tuesday and Thursday, there's going to be 30 varsity games played, both boys and girls. And they'll be played on Tuesday, Thursday, none on a Wednesday, none on a Friday. And you kind of have to ask them, can you move the game? And then they try, but then they say, well, I can't because there's a play here or the kids have exams. And then some of it is trying to get to the kids to the school on a Saturday. So that presents its challenges. December, they're pretty flexible, but it's that, I always say, after Martin Luther King Day until a week before President's Day weekend is when it starts to, because they're all trying to get their games in because they have to play 20 games. And as you know, you guys trying to figure out which game to go, and you pull up all the schedule and you're thinking, I'd like to go to this game, but there's this game. Why can't they move this game to that day? Or why can't they move that game to the evening? And there are schools that play in the evening, but as you guys know, it's mostly on the private school side of things. Again, the public schools, what do they do with the kids every day after school? What I learned was most of the public league schools, kids are out at 1:30. So when they go to an away game, and let's just use, say, Middletown's going to Hodson. Well, it's a 25-minute bus ride. They get to Hodson at 2 o'clock. Hodson, who's going to watch the kids for, say, a 4 o'clock basketball game, for a JV game in that time frame? So imagine if you moved it later in the evening, you run into that logistical issue. So that's why there's less night games and there are more afternoon games. I don't know if Bob runs into that in football, but because they tend to play at night.
Yeah, typically most of the games are played in Delaware on a Friday night, some on Saturday. But we've had to move games just because we didn't have enough officials to Thursdays and Fridays.
We saw that this year.
So we've got guys working Thursday, Friday, and probably 2 games on Saturday because there's not enough people.
I know you had some games like 4 o'clock Friday this year.
Yeah.
That for that reason, which for fans like us, it's awesome. But I know you guys are.
Well, it's hard on us
guys are
because some
driving
of my
from
guys
one
still
to
have
another.
jobs.
Yeah.
They're running all over the place.
Yeah. You know, you try to get 5 guys or 6 guys, you know, at a school at 4 o'clock.
We see a Thursday night game, we're like, this is great, but I know there's a reason behind it.
Yeah.
And Randy, I didn't think of all those things. I know that some of those factors came in, but I hadn't thought of all of them.
You guys see that in baseball as well?
So in baseball, you know, our biggest issue is, you know, for the most part in the state of Delaware, none of the high schools have lights. So I can think of, you know, Caravel has lights. There's probably some downstate teams that we don't see as IBUA that probably have lights. But, you know, you're thinking about Tuesday, Thursdays are our varsity days for baseball as well. Those games are 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Yep.
You know, so if you got guys that work 9 to 5s, they're not available for those games. And, you know, it does suck telling ADs, hey, we only have 1 official for your baseball game. And frankly, for us as officials, it's not ideal. You know, you'll miss a play here or there because you just don't have eyes all over the place.
No,
but, you know, we can try to work around it as best as we can. Saturdays, same thing with basketball, and nobody wants to play on Sundays because teams need to have a day off during the week, and they're only allowed to play 3 games in a week for baseball. So for us trying to find guys to match up the limited number of slots, and unlike football or basketball, if it's raining like it is today, we don't play. That game now has to get moved to another sunny day later in the month and or in the season, and eventually all those games back up, and we only have so many guys to get to so many slots to fill. So it is a challenge, but everybody, and I'm sure basketball and football and soccer and girls lacrosse and boys lacrosse and all the sports are doing the best that they can to get out for all the guys and girls.
And absolutely, again, that's the reason we're all here, is to try to get more officials out here in the state of Delaware. Again, any information, feel free to reach out, and obviously they will get you anything you need to know. But another thing, that's been tough, maybe that's kind of withholding maybe some people from getting into it, is that public criticism. Obviously, it's tough when you're an official down the floor, and sometimes, you make a call and not everybody agrees with the call. We all know how that was. My grandfather was an official for 40 plus years, and it's not the easiest job in the world. And I'll give this question to all you guys. How do you deal with that, and how do you maybe convince somebody to come out and still be an official?
I think first thing, how do you deal with it is, well, just remember, for every bad call that somebody thinks you make, the other person thinks it's a correct call. So you live in the
Can't
world.
make everybody happy, right?
You live in the world that you're going to disappoint somebody.
Exactly.
So let's just understand that concept. I don't think that stops people from coming out. Myself and Mr. Drexel have talked about that. I think the not the criticism, but the level of anger that comes from how it's being vented then tends to get people to leave as an official. That they come to the conclusion that, why am I jeopardizing my job to coming out in the middle of the afternoon to try to help out these schools and the kids, and that I don't get. Respect is probably the wrong term, but at least the common decency to say, I'm doing my best that I can. I'm a human being. I'm going to make a mistake. And you start going through a lot of that during the season, you're going to start to question, why am I out here? Because as these guys have said, you're not going to make a lot of money. You get paid, but you're not going to make a lot of money. And when you factor in time, aggravation, it may not, some people may say, listen, the aggravation isn't worth the compensation. I mean, I've been doing it for 36 years, but that's what I like to do. Right? I mean, you're going to have good games, you're going to have bad games. It's just a question of, don't think the good games are you're always going to get, and don't let the bad games get to you.
Exactly right.
And that's how it works.
And I got to say, I think it's getting better because parents and coaches and teachers and administrators are figuring out, without us, they don't play.
Exactly.
So, in the last season, I had multiple players walk up and shake my hand and say, thanks for coming out. And that never happened, ever. Having said that, we've had officials have their lives threatened in this past season. So not everybody's getting the message, but I think the message is starting to get out there. Without guys like us, they're not playing baseball, basketball, or football.
Exactly right. And
The man takes a certain skill set to do this job. It really does.
Yeah.
And you really have to go out there and act with tact and diplomacy and really bring a certain attitude to the field. And my philosophy when I do this is I want to be invisible when I'm out on that field. I don't want anybody to know I'm there. I don't want them to know my name. That's it. If I accomplish that, I've done my job. I go out there and be as about as invisible as I possibly can be. But at the same time, though, just as these two gentlemen have said, number one in baseball, why we lose officials, is abuse. From spectators, coaches, and a lot of them just, a lot of our colleagues are like, is it really worth it for me to be out here? Our decline started in 2017, 2018. That's when it all began. Everybody says, well, the pandemic and everything. The pandemic helped it along. Last year when the pandemic ended and people started reevaluating, I know a lot of officials that said, do I really want to do this? I didn't miss it. I missed it when I was there. I chomped at the bit for 2 months getting back out on the field. but we have a certain amount of people that reevaluated themselves and said, do I really need this? Do I really need the aggravation? I did well without it for that month or for that year, and they never came back. So it helped it, unfortunately. But it's really started, though, in 2017, 2018, when we started to see a decline.
So for me, we'll talk about, making mistakes and that kind of stuff. For baseball officials, if you're behind home plate, you see 250 pitches a game. So if you miss 3 pitches in that entire game, you still get a 99%. I don't know about many places in the world, but if you get a 99%, you're doing a pretty damn good job.
Absolutely.
So, for us, don't worry about the pitch or the bang play that you called safe when it was really out. We don't have replay. You just kind of gotta have a thick skin. Definitely, as an official, you have to have a thick skin, and you gotta be like the quarterback. You gotta flush whatever the previous play was. Flush it. Next play is what is the most important one. And I think if guys can really start to understand that and realize that, we'll have a little bit less worry about what's going on outside. Obviously, we still all hear the horror stories, and I'm sure everybody here has been a part of a horror story. But there are a lot of good things that happen when you officiate baseball games, or any sport when it comes to that matter.
I know some of you guys do one sport, and then you have a guy like Dave Swift who does all of them.
For 50 years.
For 50 years. Swifty's been at it for 50 years.
50 years.
I saw him yesterday at a softball game. But for those of you guys who maybe just do the one sport, I talk to coaches at different sports, and they're glad for the rest after the season's over. But then, the volleyball coaches I talk to in the summertime, they're itching, they're ready to get back in the gym. I know they do club sports, some of them, but are you guys the same way? Are you ready to go Bob, when it comes to August and you're like, all right, the season's starting up, but what's it like for you?
I start out in August really excited, and it kind of wanes because it takes a toll on your body. It does. I mean, I'm no youngster, so by the time December rolls around, I'm tired and beat up. But and that January, February, and then I'm like, okay, football's going to start up again soon, so you start doing things to help your body along. But it's enjoyable. I do it for the kids. I started out doing it for my own kids, got hooked, and I've been doing it ever since.
And Randy, you're inside. You guys have to deal with some elements. Maybe the baseball guys. Have you umpired in snow? What's some of the horror stories? I don't know horror stories.
Anything so far this year that's already been questionable? What do you think?
2 Sundays ago, I did a college game and it snowed. We had off and on snow squalls, and it was in the 30s, and the winds were gusting to 40 miles an hour. So you dress for it.
Yeah.
You have to dress for it, otherwise you're going to go out there and freeze.
Yeah.
But you dress for it, though. My season starts in February and it goes through November. Okay, so you can sit there and pick your season.
Yes.
Cold weather, and then in the midsummer, we deal with the extreme heat outside. Heat index 105, 110. Again, you got to dress for it, stay hydrated. Again, common sense stuff. But, that's it. You got to do the common sense stuff, and that includes the cold weather to the hot weather.
Absolutely. And guys, before we let you head out again, thanks for coming on. Let's talk a little bit about the gratification that you guys get from being an official. Again, not for everyone, obviously, but something special, for guys that enjoy it so much. Like I said, my grandfather loved it, probably his favorite thing to do his entire life. Just talk a little bit about the gratification you get from being official here in Delaware.
Well, I think first of all, you get to stay involved in the sport.
Exactly.
And if I said this to a friend of mine, I said, when you participate in high school sports, you only have 3 other opportunities after high school to be involved in the sport, to either be a coach. If you're good enough, you can continue to play it. But at some point in time, that's even going to come to an end. So the only other avenue you have is to become an official. And you could do that from the time that you're 22 till the time that you're 65, provided you physically can do it and you enjoy it. And on balance, all my guys enjoy the on-court of the game. In addition, what you get out of it is the opportunity to meet members of the community from all walks of life who more than likely you would have never encountered. I mean, Mr. Drexel has been a friend of mine for 20 years. If I didn't officiate, I wouldn't have encountered him. If I didn't officiate, I wouldn't know you guys.
That's right. Exactly right.
You know, so you can develop relationships in addition to becoming a member of the organization. And oh, by the way, like I've always said, you're going to make some money, and you may find out you like it, and you can end up going to the next level, like this gentleman's doing here. And so, but there's only one way you can do that, people. Get involved. Find the sport that you like. Get the information you need, and give it a shot. The worst thing that can happen is you lost your time. That's about it.
Exactly right, Bob.
I get a lot of gratification out of the kids when they walk up to you and thank you, or the parents when you're walking off. They're excited about the game, you can tell. Also get a big thrill out of watching guys on the NFL who played in Delaware.
Yeah,
and there's a bunch of them.
There's some good ones.
that have gone through the high school system.
Yeah.
And it's good to see those guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is my 38th year doing this. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So the passion has got to be there. At least for me, it is. You know, as these two gentlemen have said, you get to go out in the community, you get to meet different people, and you go out there and work at your trade, and then you go out and be the best you possibly can. But if I didn't like what I was doing, I wouldn't do it. The passion's got to be there. Once the passion goes, I'm going to stop doing this. You know, but it's going out there and meeting people. I mean, you get good exercise when we're outside, and you know, so it's great. I mean, that's the reason why I do it.
For me, so I played high school and college baseball, and for me, you know, I did the whole travel ball coach thing. Gotta wake up, gotta travel with the team, gotta be there the whole time, gotta worry about the parents and everything. This way, you know, as a baseball umpire, now I show up to the field 45 minutes before the game. I do the best job that I can do. I have fun. You know, first of all, if it's not fun, you shouldn't do it.
Exactly.
And, you know, I enjoy watching baseball. You know, baseball is basically my life. So, you know, for me, being able to get paid to do something and still get to see high quality level of sports in Delaware is, you know, as, you know, you guys just had Goldie Beacom on, and they recruit Delaware heavy. Yeah. Why? Because Delaware's got good baseball. Delaware's got good sports in general. So for me, you know, it's a lot of fun, but it also keeps me in the game that I love as well. So that's, you know.
Awesome. So I think it's like these guys said, when you watch these guys in the NFL or in the NBA or whatever league they're in, baseball, and we sit there because we talk about it too. Yeah. We're like, I covered that kid when he was in high. I interviewed him a dozen times, right? I've done stories on him or whatever. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, we got from all players from Delaware, from all sports, playing at the next level now. It's been exciting. But guys, thank you so much for joining us here on a Wednesday. Remember, if you're interested at all becoming official, make sure you reach out. It's a shortage. They could use you in any sport. If you love it, give it a shot. Why not? You can fall in love with it. And here you go. This is it. This is the information you need right here.
Interested in...
I was going to say, yeah.
The state of Delaware has a website, as soon as I pull it up on my phone, where you could go and check out the associations and find out who's in charge. And that would be https://education.delaware.gov.diaa/DIAA for officials, association contact information. And then you can go to the National Federation website, which is https://highschoolofficials.com. And they have a survey form you complete, depending upon what state you're living in, because this is being broadcast outside of Delaware, so you could even go to Pennsylvania, and even if that's where you live, get involved with them. Yeah, there's sports officials shortage all over the country. And get the information and contact the sport that you love. From if it doesn't have to be baseball, basketball, or football. Lacrosse needs it. Boys lacrosse, girls lacrosse, wrestling, swimming officials, cross country officials, volleyball officials, softball officials. All sports need them, and we would strongly encourage you to look into it and pester the people. Follow up with them. Sometimes somebody will make one phone call and they'll say, oh, I haven't heard in 3 weeks. Well, guess what? Keep calling them.
Yeah.
Somebody will pick up the phone and they'll answer it. All right? We appreciate you having us, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for coming on. Again, feel free to reach out. You heard the information there. Or you can email us at 302sports@gmail.com, and then we will also give you the information you need so you can contact any one of these guys to get you involved. Again, Delaware shortage all over the country, as they alluded to. Make sure you reach out if that's something you're interested in. They could really use you, and who knows, maybe you'll fall in love with it yourself, and you'll be doing it for as long as everybody up here has been doing it. Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to get through baseball, softball, top 10s. We'll quickly wrap it up and then get to our top 10 plays of the week as well. That's all coming up here right after the break.
Ferris Home Improvements did our roof, all of our siding, including our shed, and also the windows on the house. They did an outstanding job. Our house is warmer. It's insulated better. Our utility bills are down. Our quality of life inside the house is better. We got what we paid for. Ferris was right on top of everything from the beginning. The project managers communicated every single day that they were on the job, whether it was the roofers or whether it was the siding or the window people. All the guys that worked there were great. The girls on the phone, everybody that we talked to, they've been great to work with. I would recommend them to anybody. They take what they do personal, which is very nice. And it showed in the work that they did, the communication that they have, because they did a good job. And they did a good job for a good price. We couldn't have asked for anything better. Ferris Home Improvements did our roof, all of our siding, including our shed, and also the windows on the house. They did an outstanding job. Our house is warmer. It's insulated better. Our utility bills are down. Our quality of life inside the house is better. We got what we paid for. Ferris was right on top of everything from the beginning. The project managers communicated every single day that they were on the job, whether it was the roofers or whether it was the siding or the window people. All the guys that worked there were great. The girls on the phone, everybody that we talked to, they've been great to work with. I would recommend them to anybody. They take what they do personal, which is very nice. And it showed in the work that they did, the communication that they have, because they did a good job. And they did a good job for a good price. We couldn't have asked for anything better.
First State Orthopedic statewide has 29 physicians at 16 locations. Our physicians and staff provide both non-surgical as well as surgical treatment for almost all orthopedic conditions and injuries. We are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physician and orthopedic consultant for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to the local emergency departments as well as medical aid units and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Call for an appointment today or visit us at firststateortho.com.
Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy,
but have you tried Premier? Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy,
but have you tried Premier? Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy,
but have you tried Premier? Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy.
But have you tried Premier? Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy.
But have you tried Premier? Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy.
But have you tried Premier? Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality.
Welcome back inside Delaware Live Sports Weekly. Nick Alessandrini alongside Mike Lang.
Why me, Mark? Why not?
Mike, special show. Now we got a chance to check out Goldie Beacom baseball. Thanks to the Lightning for joining us up here, as well as our umpires and officials. Again, there is a shortage. Come out, check it out. Just, get some information, see if it's something for you. Again, we could really use you, not only here in Delaware, but all around the country. Again, reach out, 302sports@gmail.com.
You know what happens is without these officials, either A, they don't play, or they have coaches that have to step in and officiate.
How about that? I mean, it's a shame it has to get to that point. So hopefully we'll get some more officials out there.
To get teed up by your own coach.
That's what's going to come to.
Yeah.
But let's dive into our softball top 10 here quickly, as we're, again, running late here tonight. We're going to cycle through these rather quickly, as I said. So there's your new top 10 on your screen right now. Mike, just to recap this past week, Laurel, they lose to Delmar yesterday. They're going to fall from that 2 spot. Middletown has won 5 straight since that opening loss to Red Lion, which was a 1-run loss there. Dover, they took Sussex Central to extra innings. A 1-0 loss for them against the Golden Knights. And the Senators, maybe the surprise team this year. They were 8-10, looking pretty good so far. And then Odessa not only won the first game in program history, Mike, they're on a 3-game winning streak.
Yeah, it's too bad that I live all the way up at the top of the state, because I don't get a chance to go down and see all these teams. And unfortunately, they don't all make trips up north where I can get to them, but I do want to check out the ones I can. But looking at the list, I've seen St. Mark's, really good team. I think they lost to Middletown.
Yeah.
Middletown's a really good team. And Appoquinimink, I think, will be rising. That is a really good team. Playing Red Lion as we speak.
That's right. Well, Wednesday softball action. And Mike, a big week next week for us. We are going to be live at Red Lion Christian next week for the softball matchup next Wednesday. St. Mark's and Red Lion. Should be a great softball game. We're going to be there. We're going to have a little pregame show, most likely. No regular show. We're not going to be here. We're going to maybe bring you a show live from Red Lion, a little game day action for you potentially. Make sure to follow us on social media for any updates regarding that, but should be a good one next Wednesday. We're going to be busy the next week as we're starting to really get into it now here in the spring.
Yeah, and it's supposed to warm up.
I hope so, man.
That's all I think about is that the temperature. And it's going to be, it's good to finally. We've had a little slow start with our baseball and softball coverage, but it's been cold out, so nobody really minds. But I'm looking forward to getting into it a little bit with the high school coverage.
I'll tell you, there's nothing like it once it gets nice out in the spring to go check out some of these baseball and softball games. It is such a pleasure. Let's dive now to our baseball. You're going to see the top 10 on your screen here shortly. Mike, the first thing that comes to mind the last week in terms of baseball here was that game yesterday between Appo and St. Mark's. Top 2 teams in our top 10, I believe, coming in. That's the way we had it, and it was a battle out there at Appoquinimink yesterday. A narrow victory, 3-2 for the Jags.
Yeah, I had a chance to go watch St. Mark's on Saturday against Hodgson, and I was talking to the players, and they were excited about the chance to go play Appo, and looks like it lived up to the billing, 3-2. One loss not a huge deal in the overall scheme of things. I'm sure the Spartans weren't happy about dropping, but Apple, man, they got arms, and they can really play. State champ 2 years ago, and I know they want it back.
And again, shout out to Lorenzo Carrier. We had on last year during his run with Appoquinimink, now down at the University of Miami, crushing balls down there for the Hurricanes. He's doing very well, so shout out to Lorenzo, taking care of business, representing the 302 down in Miami. You look at this game, no Jack Burns on the mound for St. Mark's. Obviously, you saw him on Saturday against Hodson. Jaguars were able to come up with Evan Bolden and Aiden Deakins, phenomenal pitchers for them, obviously able to get the win. They broke that 2-2 tie in the bottom of the third on a Deakins sac fly. Deakins gets his third win of the year. Evan Bolden, he entered that game in relief, finished it off with 4 innings, but a 3-2 win for Appo. Who, again, they were already number 1 in our top 10. They're going to be number 1 in everybody else's top 10 most likely this next week or so.
Yeah, no extra base hits for St. Mark's. Pitching really strong for the Jags.
Sussex Central, again, up there, having a great start to their year and a couple wins earlier in the year. They were averaging 16.5 runs. Not sure if that's where they are now. Sussex Tech remaining in that top 5. Sally's has made their way in there. Conrad also looks strong so far to begin the season. DMA, the defending state champs, lowering a few spots, but you don't want to take your eyes off of them. So it's going to be an exciting spring for both softball and baseball.
Just to note, Delmar was at Slade's Animal on Saturday. Sally's won in 12 innings.
Oh, wow.
12 innings. So, good game out there. Jason was at that one. I was not. I was watching Archwood Tower Hill and St. Mark's and Hodgson. But it was a 12-inning marathon, and the Sal's held on.
And again, we are going to be at Frawley Stadium on Tuesday ahead of Wednesday's softball game. Wilmington Charter and Archmere. Tuesday night at Frawley Stadium. We'll be bringing you that game live right here on Delaware Live Sports. So again, Tuesday at Frawley, Wednesday we'll be at Red Lion. Just a little peek ahead as we get into the spring. So that's going to take us to our top performers of the week. Mike, we're going to get started with Reese Founds from Middletown Softball, a no-hitter in that big win over Newark.
Well, it's you're not giving up any hits, you're going to win most of the games.
Yeah, exactly right. Madge Layfield from Sussex Central, complete game, 12 strikeouts in that 1-0 win over Dover. Again, the Senators, strong start to their season, but Madge Layfield taking care of business with the shutout there. Over to baseball, J.C. Alley from AI DuPont, 4 for 4. Also was able to pitch 3 scoreless innings for the Tigers in that win over McCain. And then Chance Hocker from Indian River, 5 scoreless for him, 10 Ks, giving up just 1 hit in the win for Indian River. And then, of course, Brandon Grigo from William Penn. What a week it's been for him. You see him on ABC Philadelphia earlier today, had him on DETV earlier in the week. The first perfect game in William Penn history for Brandon Grigo. Also a Grand Slam not that long ago. That's you're going to see maybe here shortly.
For some historical perspective, Marvin Dooley went to William Penn and played 4 years in minor league baseball as a pitcher in the Pirates organization. And Brett Oberholzer went to William Penn. He played in the major leagues for 5, 6, 7 years. They've got some talent at William Penn. And a lot of other guys have played there that didn't make the bigs or the minors. So Grigo getting it done on the mound. He can also hit.
Yes, he
and
can.
I believe he committed this week for college, if I'm not mistaken. So, and just a nice kid, too. Congratulations to Brandon.
Yeah, having a heck of a season. All-State honorable mention last year, looking to upgrade that this year. What a start to his season at William Penn. Now it's time for our top 10 plays of the week, brought to you by BSN. Let's roll them. You know what? Let's take a look up close and personal right now. You want to get us started at 10?
Well, if I know what it is, let's see. This is Riley Thomas from St. Mark's. Pitcher, just keep watching on the mound. The mask goes, and Riley makes the play on the first base.
That was a quick mask toss there.
Well, you know, she's a pro.
Yes, she is. On to number 9, Kyle Walker from Goldie Beacom. Check out this one again, Goldie. Again, Chestnut Hill. This was the rain delay game we were talking about earlier. There's the backhand. Going to have to come up throwing. What an arm from across the field. Getting that one to go.
We got an audience behind us here. All right, number 8.
More Goldie.
Unassisted double play. Brendan, is it Coleman'sberger?
Yes, it is.
A nice sunny day here. Line drive. Makes the diving stop. Across the diamond and double it up. 2 for the price of 1.
We got some good Goldie plays here in the top 10, but over to Mason Morris from Milford. He's going to take this one oppo deep over the right field fence. He'll hit every bag for the Milford Buccaneers. A big home run there. Always love our fan submissions. He'll round third and touch home. Big shot. Opposite field for Mason Morris.
How about that? Congrats, Bucks. Rowan.
Here it is.
Nuri from Salesian Lacrosse. Watch this one. Nuri, number 18, up and a cross check to the jaw. But the goal counts. Flag on Easton in that one. But they took the goal.
No helmet, no problem. Here's Connor Meganson. Not sure if he's still in the crowd or not. He was here a little while ago. Up close and personal. You're going to check him out here in right field. Back diving, makes the catch. Check it out again here. What a play.
I think it's the floating bear that gets it done.
Another one here. He can go back. He can come up and makes the diving play there as well. I mean, we're going to get 3 for $1 here from Connor Meganson out and right. How about all these diving plays? He's all over the place out there.
He's going to ask for a raise. Here's Marshall Autry, also from Goldie Beacom. Marshall, a Conrad guy.
How about this one, 7-7.
And out of town.
That's going to break the tie in the bottom of the 8th inning. At the time, we thought it was a walk-off. We were wrong. And then here we are again. How about another? 2 dingers.
And not playable.
For Marshall Autry. We're not done. That's how impressive it's been the last week. That one was absolutely crushed.
On dead center right there.
Dead center, furthest part of the field and over the fence.
Heard that ball still going.
Here we go. Brandon Grigo here inside the park. Grand slam. There he is, the lefty. Going to send that one into the woods.
Where is this game?
All 3 runners are going to come around and score, including Brandon Grigo himself. Don't forget that perfect game. He can do it in the batter's box as well.
Garrett Musey, we're Goldie Beacom. This is a Goldie Beacom kind of night.
Yes, it is.
Bases juiced.
Crushed.
It's deep and headed toward Wilmington. Nobody's going to catch that one.
And again, love to see
Double
the energy
nickel
there.
slam.
Trot around, extending that lead for the Lightning there over Chestnut Hill. They did get the sweep over
Very
the
good
weekend.
synchronized jump there.
Here we go. This is what we were talking about. Last pitch of the perfect game for Brandon Grigo, the first in William Penn history, Newcastle history, dating back to 1908. And there he goes. Perfect game, and he's your top play of the week. So, Mike, that's going to do it for us here at the Christiana location, Buffalo Wild Wings. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Our officials, the Goldie Beacom Lightning, for joining us here tonight. Mike, any closing words as we get ready for another week of the spring?
We had the
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our